A few weeks ago, I was offered a $150,000 salary from a tech company. I worked the last decade chasing that goal, and suddenly I had to make the most defining choice of my life. Do I take this well respected job knowing full well how much I hate it? The odds getting this offer were so small, and yet I walked away. As you may notice, this video is based on personal experience and will get therefore a little bit more personal, but maybe relatable. Back in the day when I was a kid, we never had much, but back then, money was never a thing. The older I got, the more I focused on performance and productivity with one clear but now toxic goal: build generational wealth. Like I'm the only one in millions years of evolution who must give financial freedom to all upcoming generations. It took me nearly 10 years in the corporate world to understand that I was on the wrong path. Here are 5 hints for you to save that time. My wake-up call was especially number 2. The first hint to understand if you are made for the corporate world is your awareness of small moments. For me, the best moments at work were lunchtime and throwing away my headphones at the end of the day after talking to dozens of colleagues. Don't get me wrong, I was not struggling with it or waking up early and going to work every day. It was not a pain for me, but I was much happier after I left. Another thing I never understood was the concept of having a boss. I experienced both good and bad managers, but never was I in the situation that I truly looked up to one of them. So I never cared about their feedback, but some of my colleagues did everything besides of their work to get a nice treatment. Those small moments made me question myself. With that, we come to the second hint to understand if you're made for the corporate world, and that's your persona. Did you ever think about how your friends would describe you and compare that to how your colleagues would describe you? Would their answers differ? In my case, they would. I never forget a workshop I participated in. The instructor proposed a model and asked everyone to pick one animal, which should reflect your persona. When I asked out of curiosity if the choice should depend on our private lives or our corporate lives, the whole room turned around and looked at me like I was some kind of weirdo. Back then I was really thinking, I'm the only one acting here differently? And now I really want to know what you guys think. Are you acting at your job like at home? For me, I'm far nicer at work, turning on that corporate voice, talking with people on unnecessary stuff, and solving easy problems in a complex way. As time passed by, I realized that changing back and forth between corporate me and myself and corporate me and myself, my energy level just dropped. Plus, I was treating people around me slightly worse. I understand it. When you talk all day energetic, nice, calm, and hiding your edges start poking at home. I started reflecting, who mattered more, the people at work or my loved ones? Easy answer, so I changed my behavior at work. I guess it's a no-brainer that the corporate world doesn't like that at all, but I could care less. What about you? The third hint to understand if you're made for the corporate world is to evaluate if time off gives you the necessary time to recharge. For me, whenever it was time to take some time off, I started becoming sick, somewhat like a flu. I analyzed that pattern for years until I understood it's because of the corporate conditions I take in every day. Even when I took time off, I never relaxed. My mind was always on the work waiting for me when I got back. It's that random silent voice telling you what you have to face again after you come back, which you ignore every time. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that 9 to 5 is an illusion. In total, we spend at least 12 hours a day on our corporate jobs as we need to get ready in the mornings, drive to work, eat something in the evenings. Plus, you think about your job before and after, and your body wears off no matter what you do. So I started questioning what really was the difference between being a business owner and working from 9 to 5 under these circumstances. The fourth hint to understand if you are made for the corporate world is to comply to rules you did not set. If you're working for someone, it's clear. It's his house, it's his rules. Some owners may even let you design some rules as well, but only if they are in the sense to be more efficient to achieve the company's goals. And on the other hand, you are now locked into the rules as you designed them yourself. A prime example for rules to comply with, which sets me off every time, is remote working. Research found that remote work increases employee happiness by 20%. I am one of many who loves working from home as I save up a lot of time, plus I work more efficient. But these are the set rules. There are also untold rules. I remember working for a company where an untold rule was to stand up when the owner entered the building. He did not look at anyone, just passed by, but still people stood up. I did never understand why this was his thing, but back in the day, I had not the guts to challenge it. But I lived some lunchtime stories of colleagues talking about how they did not stand up in the first place. Unfortunately, there was never a witness. What about you? Share in the comments some dumb rules which you had to comply with. The fifth hint to understand if you are made for the corporate world is to ask yourself if you are doing it only for the salary. Would you rather take the money and do nothing, or take the money and do the work anyway? I guess it's a no-brainer for most people, right? But I know many people who are just fulfilled with the job they perform. They see their salary not as a reward, they see it as a bonus. The actual reward for them is the job they are able to perform. Personally, my answer is take the money and do nothing. The reason is simple. I studied business engineering because I knew that I can earn a lot of money, not because it's fulfilling to me. But let's be real. The very least can afford to do fulfilling activities. That's why, in order to survive, many of us sign up for a 9 to 5. I came to the realization that my main job gives me nowadays the opportunity to build some side hustles. Because back in the day, I simply had not the money to buy some camera or a fancy setup for YouTube. Or I did not even have the thought of starting a business because you need money to do that. If you are interested in my path, how I got to a six-figure job, I recommend to watch this video right here. All these hints, especially the second one, made me turn the 150k offer. So I'll stick to my old company where I know the people, I know the system, I know the rules. I have a standing there. Plus, my personal goal is not to climb up that corporate ladder, it's to build my own business. Not because I want to make as much money as possible, but I want to do the things I like and that I'm only accountable for myself. We have to learn to be happy with what we've got instead of jumping on every opportunity. Maybe you would earn more in a new job, but probably you would face more adversity and challenges which you can't foresee in the moment. What about you? Did you ever turn down a crazy opportunity? Share your reasons in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Bye.